Live from 2 News. This is Talkin Real, powered by Strong Auto Group.
Good evening and welcome to Talkin Real here on Talkin Sports. I'm David James along with Brian Dunseth. Dunny, 2 games to go. We've got 4 teams separated by 4 points and only 3 of them get to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, and we'll get a good idea tonight with Colorado playing host to San Jose. Should that top spot in the Western Conference truly be up for grabs, that could also mean the Supporters' Shield between Colorado and FC Dallas.
All right, the big news this week for RSL is the signing of Yura Movsisyan. He joined RSL on loan from Spartak Moscow in January, and he'll now be in Utah for years to come. Movsisyan has 9 goals and 3 assists. He's played more than 2,000 minutes for the club this year, and he sat down with Dunny after inking his new deal.
Congratulations. 9 months ago, we were sitting downtown talking about this incredible ride it's been for you over the past couple of years. Now that you and your family are settled, long-term deal in the future of Real Salt Lake, what's it like? What's the emotions right now?
Well, yeah, thank you. It's a lot of stress, I'll tell you that. You know, when you're done with a deal like that, and it took me 9 months of a lot of stress, but we're just extremely happy. Finally, this is behind us, and, I'm at a place where I was dreaming to be, and now I am, and, I can't be more happy.
I'll say this out loud because this is the first thing that came out to my mind was when I read the press release and I see how happy you are about everything. There's still a contract that was in place with Spartak Moscow. So the reality is, in my world, that for you to take this move to secure your long-term future for you and your family and want to be in Salt Lake City, there's still pieces that you have to deal with over in Moscow with the club. And one would imagine walking away from a pretty significant deal over there as well.
Yeah. Well, obviously, when you make a deal of this magnitude, you have to sacrifice. And it's as simple as that. It's never, for me, now it's not about the money. It was about my family, it's about my kids, it's about what makes us more happy than just making the money. Obviously, if I was thinking about the money, I wouldn't have been here. Simple as that. There's no 2 ways about it. But I'm very happy with what we came up with. Obviously Deloy and the club have done an amazing job, and my agent, they, when you talk about there's still pieces left in Spartak, this is why, you got an agent that deals with these type of things, and he's done an amazing job.
All right, you can see the entire interview with Dunny and with Yura online at KUTV.com. Now, we got a major piece of the puzzle here for RSL as we try to analyze where the club's going forward. A major piece of the puzzle in place. Yura's one of the top 20 goal scorers in MLS. What does this mean for RSL going forward?
It means stability. It means having a focal point of the attack that you know is going to be around for the next 3+ years. And listen, you've got a guy here that wants to be here. He wants to be in Salt Lake City. He wants to wear the badge. He wants to be part of the project. He wants to be a part of this club, the fiber going forward. If it was all about money, Yura Movsisyan would not have stayed in Salt Lake City. I'll say it for him since no one else is saying it. He left a ton of money on the table in Spartak Moscow. But the reality is, for his family, for his future, being a part of this club means the world to him. And his loyalty is showing without a shadow of a doubt. But the simple solution is there's stability going forward for Craig Waibel to build this offense around.
All right, it is fitting that the last regular season home game matches RSL and Sporting Kansas City. They met in the 2013 MLS Cup. They're both trying to clinch a playoff spot, and they've traded words in the media.
I've never liked Salt Lake. I think they're, I don't like them. I like playing against them. I like beating them, even though, we haven't been able to the last 2 years, but this year we get to play them a couple more times. So, Salt Lake probably. I don't know if it's the game that I look forward to the most, but it's definitely the one that, it's the team that I most, like you said, I hate the most, I guess. For me, that's not the reason why. I just don't like them.
You want to go into it?
I'll leave it at that.
The whole team or just individuals?
Some individuals I don't hate. There's some guys on the team I like. But I guess as a whole, no, I don't like them very much.
I want the team to feel good, and I want them to feel bad.
You just said you want to feel good and you want them to feel bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you knew that's what you said.
Yeah, I want them.
You don't want to walk that back at all.
No, I want them to feel bad.
It's fine. We don't really, that's petty stuff. Come say it to us. Talk to us. Who are they talking to? I don't know. So now we're fine. We have no problem with them. I love Beasler, Zusi, Chance. These guys are good people. Tim Malia was here. So we actually have a lot of friends over there, and so we don't worry about one bozo.
Dunny, is this a rivalry, or does this really come down to RSL versus Benny Feilhaber? I mean, when we hear Kyle talk and say bozo, it sounds like it's one guy. Maybe it isn't club-wide.
Yeah, I think it's easy to point the finger at one guy, especially when those type of comments were put out there publicly. But for me, there's two things in play. Number one, Benny Feilhaber probably isn't going to be a Sporting Kansas City player going forward after the end of the season, with his contract coming to an end. Number two, Real Salt Lake going into Kansas City, winning twice this season, then with a playoff spot in the line. It's not a playoff spot that I'm thinking of. It's more about home field advantage. The biggest piece of this puzzle in the conversation about Sporting Kansas City, Real Salt Lake, where's the banter start? Where does it finish? The reality is that Sporting Kansas City beat Real Salt Lake in an MLS Cup final. Regardless of RSL being the bogey team since then for Sporting Kansas City, they will always have that until Real Salt Lake will continue the dominance season in, season out in Major League Soccer.
All right, we have seen RSL beat Sporting twice in Kansas City earlier this season. Now, major piece of the puzzle here is always, how do you deal with Dom Dwyer? He has 16 goals. He's tied for third with Sebastian Giovinco in the race for the Golden Boot. You want to take us to the big board and show us what he does?
It's really about playing quickly, and when Benny Feilhaber is standing over the ball, you know that opportunities are going to be created. But with Dom Dwyer, even in a 1 versus 3 situation, he's going to figure out ways how to create time, create space, and he's an irritant at worst, and at best, if you're his teammate, he's going to hustle, he's going to run down plays, and he is one hell of a finisher inside that 18-yard box. But it's also about his movement, how he creates something out of nothing when the ball is at his feet. And even if he takes a heavy touch, he can create something out of nothing because he causes havoc for defenders. Every single time Dom Dwyer is facing the attackers, he's going to want to try to turn his two center backs, face their own goalkeeper, and see if he can just cause simple confusion. So when you look at Sporting Kansas City, and they're coming off a disappointing loss, the big question mark is Matt Beasler. Will he come back in the U.S. Men's International and take the place of either Nuno Coelho or Ike Opara? The other big piece right now is that Calvin Ellis is sitting deep. Roger Espinosa on the shelf. He's going to sit in front of that back four. You've got Nagamura on one side, Sonny Mustavar on the other, defensive-minded at best. But all Dom Dwyer and Benny Feilhaber, that conversation is going to be, where is that movement at all times? On the other side, for Real Salt Lake, the starting 11, there's some questions, but at the same time, not too many. The big question for me is it going to be Sonny or is it going to be Luke Mulholland? The partnership is going to be vital in terms of locking down the front four defensively, keeping the game in front of them, but also finding the rhythm. So much of the struggles recently have been for Real Salt Lake not having the front four. And whether it's been Joao Plata with a hamstring, whether it's been Yuramov Sisian with a heel bruise, or Javier Morales with a quad injury, one reason or another over the past couple of games, we haven't seen one of those four on the field. Fully fit, I guess, as close to being fully fit as you possibly can be at this stage of the season, and a fantastic opportunity for Real Salt Lake at home. 3 points against Sporting Kansas City.
All right, Sporting Kansas City and RSL play Sunday at 3 p.m. Our coverage starts at 2:30. All 10 Western clubs get underway. 5 matches. It's all head-to-head in the West. They all start at 3, so we'll be updating the playoff picture goal by goal as the afternoon unfolds. Remember to follow us on social media. Dunny's on Facebook at Brian Dunseth1 and on Twitter and Instagram at Brian Dunseth. I'm on Twitter and Facebook at David DJ James. You were called soft on Twitter today. People are going at you.
That's Sporting Kansas City fan.
It doesn't really count, right? All right. Hey, remember, we'll be back here next Thursday at 10:35, and make sure you join us Sunday at 2:30. And now, let's check in on the NFL.